Well, good morning. Here we are crossing the highway to Jacob Lake. Just got over here last night. Finish the canyon yesterday. Now we're back up here north. Headed north, actually. That's what we're doing, is we are actually headed north. Tomorrow we will finish the trail, is the plan. I mean, got an average day today and a short day tomorrow. 10 miler, so it'll be done in the morning sometime, theoretically. And of course, walking for water. It's about a 16-mile walk for water, like 16.8 or something like that. There's a trail closure up here. They had a fire, and they're still running closed trails out here on the Arizona Trail. So looks like they've moved the signage over there to let people down the road, so that's good. They got the road clear, but the trail's still not clear, so we're gonna be walking a road this morning, which means we're gonna go fast. Walking roads is a lot easier than walking trails, generally the case. Of course, up in this country, a trail is like a road. I mean, it's just flat as can be. Now it's back to cold, which is so funny. Last night I got up after sleeping down there at Indian Garden. Literally didn't even need to have a jacket at all. It's warm. Got up and basically I probably wasn't even trying to think. Might have even took off made shorts, put on my shorts and my short sleeve right out of the gate. I can't remember, but it was warm last night. Definitely warm down that canyon at 2,200 feet or whatever it was. And so, yeah, so that's the plan. Unfortunately, springtime in Arizona means wind. I don't know how many nights I've been out sleeping and just couldn't sleep just because it's so windy. Well, we're having another one of those tonight. 50-mile-an-hour winds at 50-mile-an-hour winds by clear up to like 7 p.m. this evening, and then I think by 2 in the morning it's supposed to be down to like 20 or something. So it's going to be another one of those nights where it's hard to sleep because of the wind. And the other thing you kind of want to do when it's going to be windy like that is get out of the areas that are burnt. Definitely don't want to be sleeping near trees in a burned area at that stage of the game. So, yeah. And so that's the plan. Off to Utah. Downhill almost the whole way. I think it's downhill, significantly downhill actually at some points. There you go. Well, look over there. It's kind of burnt there still. Been walking through a forest fire for, let's see if they're pretty burnt. I can still see some of it coming up there. But I definitely wanted to get through there early because we were basically talking about a 50-mile-an-hour wind, you know. don't want to be in any kind of a burned area in a 50-mile-an-hour wind. There's going to be lots of trees down. And that ain't going to be. Now the funny thing is, if you look way out there in that flat ground out there, that's where we're going to be going. That's the end of the trail tomorrow. So over there by those mountains that are over there, you can see it. And yeah, Arizona Trail nearly finished. Got about 7 miles more to go to my water source for the night. That wind's starting to pick up. It's already probably blowing 20. It's going to be an exciting afternoon. It starts at about 2 o'clock. About 2 o'clock it's supposed to be like 45 miles an hour, and by 3 it's supposed to be at 50, and have 50 clear to like 7 tonight at Jacob Lake. Man, there's going to be trees falling all over back there. It's going to be a nasty deal. Well, good morning, everybody. See how long my battery lasts. Probably not too long. Adjust me so I'm pretty in the camera. Yeah, so headed to the Utah border today. I have about 10 miles, 10.5 I think, plus another point something on my way up here to where the trail is. I had to get off trail yesterday to go get water. So hiking back to the trail, and off we go. Off we go. 10.5, yeah. That's around 5 hours. The time now is 5:30, so I'll be there by 10:30. I think that's what I told Meanwhile back at the camper. So they'll probably be meeting me there. Oh, Calamity Gene is planning a big old party. And yeah, so that's the plan. As you can see, we're hiking through juniper country here. Just little junipers and pines, and looks like bitter brush and sage growing in here. Red limestone soil, which is, glad it ain't wet. It'd be super sticky if that's what it was. And yeah, sun is just coming up. So funny, this country is so flat. You can see over there, just the tippy tops of the trees have got light on them, but there's no light on me yet. I think that's kind of neat. Anyhow, yeah. So headed down the trail, last day of the AZT. Oh, look at this, I got rows all over the place in here. You know what I ought to do if I had any brains is I'd make sure I'm not getting off trail. Be back in a bit. Well, I'd like to speak a little bit to the way we did this, right? I hiked the Arizona Trail today. Today I finished it, and it's not even a long day. And you know, nowadays I'm making, you know, between 17 and 20 mile days, which is far better than I was doing, you know, when we first started this. I remember my first day on the trail, I think I did 12 miles. It almost killed me. Now that was a rough day, by the way. But anyway, I'd like to speak to that because the truth is I couldn't have done this without the Meanwhile back at the camper support that those guys did. I mean, for probably the first, I don't know, at least the first third of the trail, I pretty much only went out and stayed overnight, maybe, I don't know, just a couple times at the most. Pretty much what happened was they would drop me, they'd camp at a trailhead, and I'd take off, and I'd end my day at a trailhead where they were, so I didn't have to carry all my sleeping gear, didn't have to carry food and all the things that you would for your normal, you know, kind of a long hike thing. And basically it was a team effort that got us from there to here, you know. I'm a lot stronger now. I probably could almost do what a lot of these guys are doing, where they hike out and they get their supplies at different towns and this and that. I'm probably almost strong enough to do that now. When I started, I certainly wasn't. And what I'd like to do is just make sure that I thank the Meanwhile back at the camper people. Granny, aka Doc, you know, that woman taped my feet day after day after day as I got blisters and blisters and blisters. Clear up to about mile 600 she did, you know. That's why she got the AKA Doc. moniker that got stuck to her, you know. And then there's Calamity Jean. Honestly, I would have been stopping this thing. Had it been just up to me, I would have stopped walking back there at Mount Humphreys. That was my original plan, was just to walk to Mount Humphreys and then jump up and then walk across the Grand Canyon and call that enough. That was my original plan. And then maybe come back down this fall and finish it up. But guess what? Calamity Jean says, hey, let's get her finished. Don't stop now. Oh, you guys got to see this. Check this out. Look at those pretty flowers. Nice. You know, I'm not even sure I know what those are, to tell you the truth. That's nice. Anyway, so I'm finishing it up to some degree because Calamity Jean was excited to see it get done, you know. I probably would have come down here this fall and finished it otherwise. But I wasn't planning on doing it now. And I'm having a great time doing it now too. It's just as fun. Not any less fun, that's for sure. So yeah, just want to make sure I give a shout out to those guys back at the camper. And it's been hard this last, for them, the last, basically all the miles from, gosh, I don't know, it really, I guess it really started clear back at Roosevelt Lake when we started going to places that were high enough where the oxygen was a little bit difficult. And then you get clear up on that Kaibab Plateau up there, and whoa, we're talking high country. So that started to make that a lot harder to do, you know. Running around, resupplying me, getting the oxygen going on for everybody, all that stuff. So they've worked really hard making this done, getting this done. And I just want to make sure I give them the credit where credit is due. I couldn't have did it without them. And so it's been pretty darn fun, actually. I guess the other thing, you know, I never did do much card playing. I never liked to play cards. It's not a thing I enjoyed doing. And one thing that I've learned to do is play rummy with Calamity Jean. She wiped the table with me who knows how many times. I'd come in off the trail, having been up early, because often I get up at like 4 or 4:30 for a hike. And I can't even stay awake. And then we're playing rummy. Of course, I get beat. She just beat me and beat me and beat me. But I've gotten better. I've gotten better at rummy. In fact, I beat her like 3 times in a row here this last week sometime. That's pretty fun. Get that good, I get that good grin. I like that. I get the good grin when I beat her. It's pretty tough to beat Grandma Jean at rummy, actually. Pretty tough to beat her at rummy. Yeah, anyway, just want to make sure I said those things. And like I say, we'll be getting in there somewhere between mid and late morning. This morning is a plan. Not sure exactly where I'm going here, but I'm very near the end. I'm 2.8 miles out right now, so yeah, neat. I think meanwhile back at the camper is down there underneath of that. And of course we're just now coming down into the State Line Campground, which of course is the end of the deal. We are now at the end of the hike. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think I'll be glad to have a day or two off, actually. We have now arrived. Look at this, guys. We made it.
team
Look at
made
this.
it.
We made it all the way to here. Meanwhile,
job.
back at the camper, we made it. Yeah.
We made it.
Are you doing good? Oxygen's good?
Oh, she well,
Good enough, huh?
good enough.
All right,
We're
good
not
enough.
saying.
There's our monument
Yeah.
over there.
Okay, so I sit here or do I go there? What do I do?
Well, it
Let's go over
depends
there.
on.
We got to go to the monument. Okay, we got to go touch the monument. Okay. Okay, so this is what it says. Look at this. It says northern terminus of Arizona Trail. We just went, we just walked 800 miles to see this. Isn't that funny? It's nice to be here. All right.
Last time on this
Meanwhile, back at the camper and Sky.
One adventure done.